Yo, what's going on? Today is March 22nd, 2023. It's about 11 p.m. here on the East Coast, and we're going to hop right into the charts. Today was the rate hike decision. They decided on 25 points, and then Powell got on the mic and spit some bars for the market. I think 25 points is a sign of a dovish stance, in my opinion. And also him saying that they won't hesitate to raise rates higher. I took that as they decided this time not to raise rates higher because of slowing inflation. Year on year is 6%. Their target is 2%. And also, I think it's a combination of that and the current state of the banks, the stress that they have been under since the most recent collapses. So I think that's why they decided on a lower hike than maybe some people anticipated or suggested. So that's all I'll say about that. I think the market absorbed it pretty well. We'll look at the intraday price action. If you recall from last night's video, I was talking about this range here between the 0.236 and 0.382, 40169 and 39884. You opened up at about 39884, chopped it up in this tight range here at that level, headed into 2 p.m. and then 2 p.m. rolls around and you take off to the upside. Reject pretty hard at 40169. I think you just got over it on that wick here at 40171 or 72. Rejected pretty hard, came back down to support at 39884, chopped it up, headed into 230 when Powell got on the mic. You did dip below 39884 back down to the pre-rate hike decision low of day, and then you retested 40169 again. I think he hit a high of 40247, it looks like, before selling off into the sunset, into close. So I was expecting this drop to occur earlier in the day, headed into 2 p.m. But it looks like it came right at 2 p.m. So it's kind of interesting. My target to the upside was 40692 to 40630. That would have been roughly, I'm going to go in the middle of here, roughly a 1.5% move to the upside. Instead, we got from the high of day, we got about a 2.6% move to the downside. Heading into close, we fell to support from Monday. Monday close was about 392.50. You hit a low of 391.88 shortly after close, and then started to bounce there. Right below this 083.618 at 39424. As of after hours close, the SPY ETF sits at 39275. So looks supportive to me as far as the weekly price action goes. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but this looks pretty supportive here. We'll look at the daily. Daily's a big fat red one. This looks pretty scary, right? You know, at first glance it might be a bit scary, but in my opinion, if I look at MACD, histogram is still positive, and the MACD did not cross the signal line today on that sell-off post rate hike. It's actually pretty flat here. No signal line crossed there. RSI did cross its 200 SMA on the daily, but in my opinion, this looks pretty supportive. I think there's a lot of support here, and we're in a big demand zone in this 391, 392-ish range. If I go to the 4 hour, it gives us a little bit more information. Take a look at that. 4 hour MACD approaching the signal line. Maybe you get that signal line cross tomorrow. RSI is actually angled to the upside. So I'd have to say with these two different reads here, I think you're going to bounce pretty nicely at this level. We had a 4-hour candle close at 39285. So maybe we just get a quick recovery up to 39884 to 40169, that range, heading into tomorrow. That's what I am anticipating. I don't think we're going to just sell off into the sunset down to 38244. That would be roughly another 2.6% move to the downside. People are probably expecting that. I am not. And if we look back, we'll go back to the daily. This is probably what people are looking at. September. I'm sure people are anticipating something like this happening. It looks very similar, sort of bear flaggish, but this is a big demand zone. We're going to have to see what happens, guys. We're just going to have to wait and see. I'm still in the same spot I was. I think we recover 39424 and retest more of these upside price targets. I'm going to leave this end of month target at 413.75 for now. We don't have much time left, but things can move quickly. From where we sit as of after hours close, it'll be roughly a 5.3% move to the upside if we want that end of month target of 413.75 to be hit. We're going to play it day to day, candle to candle, and we won't hesitate to opt in puts. If we do fail at 39424 again, we'll hit the same game plan that we did twice in the same week. I think last week the game plan was below 39424 with a confirmative break. Play puts down to 38244. Above 39424, I'm in calls, or calls to 39884 to 40169. But since we retested those waters today, I think the next move up, you will see that bigger move. It's a golden pocket here at 40692 to 40630. So we'll see what happens. Take a quick look at futures before we hop into the underlines. Futures are currently red, 0.5%, slightly below the 083.618 on futures at 3998. Futures sitting at 3989.75. So that's good. 30-minute looks strong. 30-minute looks strong here at 1111. Make a wish. Just had that MACD signal line cross on futures. RSI still below its 200 SMA, so we'll look for a cross here. Probably going to happen overnight while I am doing the sleep, and I think you retest 3998 even. If you get that break, you can expect a green day tomorrow. The next level above 3998 on futures is 4034 and 75 cents and 4057.50, these being the equivalent of these two Fibonacci levels, 39884 and 40169. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna bounce. Looks like we're gonna bounce. Might upset some people. Let's hop into the underlines. NVIDIA, great fucking day. Great day. We hopped in 280 calls yesterday. Signaled for that in the Discord and on Twitter. Those went 60% very early. I bought 3 contracts. Sold 2 of them. Around, what time did I sell? Let's take a fucking look, shall we? So I sold 2 of the 3 280 strike calls on NVIDIA. Expiry was April 6th. I sold them at 12:27 p.m. So around 12:30, and we purchased them for $4.10 per contract, sold them for $6.50 per contract. I left one runner at the high of day on NVIDIA. That Larry was up over 100%. And then, of course, with the rate hike and Powell hopping on the mic, it sold off. Currently, that runner is still up 6%. Wish I just sold them all. But we got a lot of time. I think NVIDIA is going to come back pretty strong and finally hit that target of 28204, the 13.618 here. So the runner, 280 strike call runner, green, 6.83%. High a day, it was up over 100%. We'll see what happens with NVIDIA. Daily on NVIDIA looks very toppy at first glance. MACD still looking strong. A lot of separation there between the MACD line and the signal line. RSI is in overbought territory slightly at 71.33, but I like a continuation. We'll go to the 4-hour. 4-hour closed, bearish engulfing. 4-hour closed at 26448. Go to the smaller time frames. 5-minute. What did we open up at today? We opened up at $266.71. We closed at $264.68. And as after hours closed, NVIDIA sits at $266.84. So we're above today's open and after hours as of close. Good sign. I see a lot of support here. Looks like the market absorbed the Fed's decision and everything pretty well. I'll say it again. I don't think we're going to see another big red one tomorrow. Again, futures, green, 0.5%. So I'm going to maintain that 28204 price target on NVIDIA for March, and I'm going to hold that runner for April 6th, that $280 strike call on NVIDIA. I might double down tomorrow. I might buy some more. If this doesn't break any lower, we're sitting right at support. The high from Friday, March 17th, that big fucking day at a GP. I might pick up another contract or two. This one's free, so why not? Let's take a look at the monthly or the weekly MACD. Lots of separation. I'm looking at RSI in overbought territory here. MACD line is nowhere near the signal line. I don't think there's any reason to believe this is just gonna fucking dump. The monthly is fat. Look at this. Look at this monthly 3 white soldiers. Finally, the monthly. I'm gonna actually go back to SPY and look at the monthly MACD because I looked earlier and it looks pretty interesting. But you're actually getting a monthly signal line cross here on MACD on NVIDIA. This is the first time that has happened since December of 2019. And in December of 2019, you went to the moon. NVIDIA went to the moon. This looks very good, guys. The monthly looks strong here on NVIDIA. I would beware of, take everything with a grain of salt, but I would beware of doomers on NVIDIA. The monthly looks incredible. I'll just leave it at that. Weekly looks good. Again, the daily looks good. Daily candle, a bit weak, but so was yesterday's. I see continuation on NVIDIA to target 28204. Once that's reached, I got some targets for you above that. We're going to be playing the range between the 14.618 and 13.618 extensions next. So that'll be fun. Since December, we've gone from, the prices between the 12 and the 11. Then we started playing the 13 to the 12. And I'm very excited to play the 14 to the 13. So I'll keep you updated. Keep your eye out for my tweets about NVIDIA. Join the Discord. I'll try to make some informative content. Some informative? I'm not a fucking informant. Informational content about NVIDIA this weekend when I'm off work, and dig a bit deeper and give you some insight. But yeah, maintaining that target of 28204 by March 31st. Very excited. Apple. Let's see. Apple came short of the target of $164.83. Daily looks, bearish as the daily does on everything right now. MACD still above its signal line. Histogram still positive. RSI angled slightly down, approaching overbought territory. Top down to the 4 hour. Get a little bit more information. It's really the same shit as SPY. 4 hour closed green. RSI is above its 200 SMA here. And MACD looks like it is approaching the signal line, but I don't think it's going to cross here. I think we're going to see more upside on Apple, as we will with the rest of the underlines and the S&P 500. I'm going to maintain this $164.83 target here on Apple. So we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, I like it. Tesla falling to support at 18925. Watched last night's video, watched the videos before that. Nothing has changed as far as my levels go, but you are getting a bounce here at 18925. That was target 1 from call entries out of this golden pocket. This looks like support to me on this potential inverse head and shoulders playing out. I'm going to maintain that $220.22 target here on Tesla. I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried in the least bit. This looks like support to me. Call me crazy. I've been called crazy for the last fucking 3 months. Meta hit the fucking target, baby. Woo! Finally. 20648 was the target. Let's fucking go. What do you say? Meta, the sleeping giant. No one believed. They didn't believe. So target was the 2.618 at 20648. Meta was a sleeping giant back on March 2nd. I fucking woke up the sleeping giant, guys. That was our entry level on the signal. Price point 168.80, and yeah, we've been seeing upside since then, and we finally hit that target of 206.48 nearly perfectly. We rejected right at it actually, so at about 2 p.m. we hit a high of 207.32, and then just like the rest of the market, just like the S&P, you sold off into close, and you're sitting at support here on Meta. Very excited this target was hit. Another historical golden ratio price target met. Where do we go from here? As I described in last night's video, 257.86 is likely the next stop. And then as far as resistance goes on the way there, I'm just going to be using these supply areas, $222.30 $237.13 to fill this gap here. So just like I said in last night's video, above 20648, see 25786, and then use those supply zones over here as resistance, because that's a bit of a range to deal with just going off these Fibonacci levels, 25786 down to 20648. So expect resistance at or around $220, and then once more at about $237 to $240, on your way to $257.86. So since this 2.618 price target was met, we're going to be moving that next target up to $257.86. And we are going to fucking hide that since that is in the past. And we're going to look at our next entry on Meta being the 20648 price target, this 2.618. So that is our new entry level for calls to the new target of $257.86. Entry, target, and why not add a target 2? Just the next Fibonacci level, 295.86. So what we're going to do here is wait for confirmation. Okay, we rejected very hard off that target today, finally. So we're going to wait for this to have a confirmative break, maybe a break to $224-ish, that resistance that I was talking about in the supply area. And we're going to wait for that and wait for a retest of support at 20648 and then enter. I'm going to be targeting 250 strike calls for Meta. As far as an expiry goes, I'm not too sure just yet, but I will keep you updated on that. Look for my signals on Twitter and in the Discord. I'll be sure to let you know as soon as I enter anything. But that's what I'm anticipating. So we're going to be playing something along the lines of this. Why is that? Oh, I gotta hold the fucking mouse down. You know, we're going to be expecting something like this into resistance, find support here, you know, and then continue up to that next target, 257.86. Very excited to see this happen. Next is Microsoft. Microsoft sitting at support at 27239. Again, entry was $248.88. The first target for those 260 strike calls we entered at entry level was $264.48 down to $262.62. Just fucking continued straight through there, and the target is $284.84. So sitting at support here on Microsoft, we'll go down to the 30-minute. Bounce them right off it. Very supportive. Very supportive. I'd be very, very cautious if you are paying attention to any overwhelmingly bearish sentiment right now. I spoke about it before. I think we're just all so conditioned by this roller coaster that we've been on that we're sort of just so ready to flip sides so quickly, just because of the previous trends and price action as far as reactions to rate hikes and the Fed stance and all the news and the fucking just everything. It's so overwhelming, and I don't even think people realize that their own opinions are being manipulated and molded. I think they think they're in control of their own sentiment when they're really not. That's sort of why I take such a large step back from all news. I don't not pay attention, but I try to just stick to technical analysis because the charts will never lie to you. And yeah, sitting at support at $272.39 here on Microsoft. Going to maintain this $284.84 price target for March here on Microsoft. More interested in seeing $298.57 hit in the near future. That would be my next level above $284.84. Of course, similar to Meta, we're going to be using these supply zones here as potential resistance in anticipation of a move higher. So look for my signals in the future. Nothing yet. Still need to meet this target of $284.84. But it's looking good here. It's looking real good. Now, just for the sake of conversation, let's say we fell back down to GP here between the 2 and the 1.618 from the COVID retracement at $264.48 down to $262.62. This would be the entry. So that was the original entry for 260 strike calls at 248.88. If support were to be found here, you better be damn sure I'm entering calls back up to $284.84. So if you're looking for a pullback on Microsoft, or you're anticipating a pullback in the market in general, Microsoft would be a good thing to watch, and watch this $264.48 down to $262.62 range for a potential entry for more upside. As far as today goes, just sitting on support. This looks very supportive. I'm not even going to look at RSI or MACD. I'm just going to leave it at that. Last but not least, Netflix. Fucking Netflix. So my price target for March was $256.88 after nailing those 300 strike puts off this rejection at Golden Pocket between the 5.618 and 4.618 extensions. It's looking like we still have a chance of hitting that in March. It'd be about an 11 to 12% move to the downside in the next 9 days. So really, was it 6 trading days? 7? Still a possibility that target gets hit in March. We'll see what happens. I'm more excited to see how much lower it will go. I think there is, as I said before, a lot more downside here for Netflix. This looks very, very bear flaggishy to me. I think Netflix is not going to recover like the rest of the market did today. I think this might continue to target in the following week. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I'm in no puts on Netflix as of right now. I'm just trying to see what happens at 256.88 and play from there. If that gets met, I am anticipating a bounce. So this is obvious support. It was support back on November 7th of 2022, and this would be a good long entry. So target for downside, target downside, and then we'll just enter an entry for calls, also at the $256.88 price point. And what I'd be doing there is just playing a push up to about 300 again. So I'd probably be looking at 300 strike calls off a bounce at $256.88 before falling further. That's Netflix. Quick look at AMC. This video is 29 minutes long. Said I was trying to keep it under 30. Someone asked me on Twitter today what I thought about AMC. I don't talk about AMC every day. I think there is very little reason to. we're in the same spot we were. We're below this golden pocket at 520 down to 483. We rejected off of it yesterday, it looks like. And as I said in the past, many times, I said below this golden pocket, it's not looking hot. My target for downside is still $2.81. $2.81. People don't like that, but it's okay. You don't have to like it. The market doesn't care what you like. But all things considered, AMC, I'm not gonna just say outright that it's gonna hit. Let me get rid of this fucking 707 real quick. I don't need that. Whoop. I don't need this 707 Dave. Yeah, so downside target 281. Same shit. Below this golden pocket, downside target 281. I'm not gonna say we there's no chance of regaining this. That would be bullish to me. Upside target $7.11 if these price points are met. So, you know, if we bounce here, it does look like we're creating slightly higher lows. So maybe we recover, break out into this golden pocket, and boom boom to about $7.11, this 0.786. We'll see what happens. We're still currently below it. If I go to the daily, look at MACD, a lot of separation here, guys, between the signal and the MACD line. In my opinion, that doesn't look too good. I think AMC is more than likely to fall to the downside here, about a 35% move, and this $2.81 price target would be a big buy zone for me. As I've said in the past, I'd be buying a lot of shares and also be buying calls. 281 was resistance back on Monday, November 23rd of 2020, before we fell to $1.17 before the January squeeze. It's my downside target. That's my buy zone. I'll leave it at that. We'll let AMC do what it does and assess the situation a bit further, maybe on Friday. But as of right now, I'm just going to maintain that $2.81 price target. I will say that you do have a signal line cross in bullish fashion from Friday 17th of this month, and RSI on the 4-hour is currently angled up. So maybe one more retest of 520 to 483, and we'll see what happens there. Potential breakout from that point to $7.11. If this fails once more, that was a hard rejection today. If that gets rejected again and you're playing calls and puts on AMC, I'd look for some puts down to this price target. Yeah, one more look at futures before I hit the stack. Still green, 0.43% green right now. Futures sits, and it looks like you're getting a little bit of a red 30-minute candle here. I actually don't like how that looks at the moment. We'll see how futures holds up throughout the nightly session headed into tomorrow. Take everything that I just said with a grain of salt. I'm not the fucking end-all be-all. What I say isn't gospel, just like what anyone else says isn't gospel. No one can predict the market. We can just try to analyze momentum to the best of our ability with the information that the market provides us. So, have a good night. Good luck tomorrow. And be safe.